Good morning. Today, and actually for the next few weeks, we are going to locate and identify the physical and human characteristics of places in the United States. You're also going to be able to name and locate the states and capitals in the United States by the end of the school year. Today, we will start with the Northeast region. We'll focus on the Northeast region. Next, fourth graders, your teacher sent you a link. I want you to make a copy of this presentation so you can be writing in this presentation in your drive. So if you have not made a copy, go into your email, click on that link, and then go into your drive, and you can follow along and type in your drive as I present. You're going to want to do all the typing because this is going to be your study guide for the test that we have at the end of the year. While you're trying to do that, please listen to the video.
The United States is a pretty big country. But did you know it's divided up into 5 distinct areas or regions? A region is an area of land that has a lot of things in common. It has wildlife, climate, plants, and large pieces of land that are similar to one another. The 5 regions of the continental United States are the Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, Southwest, and West. Let's talk a little about each one. Most of the Northeast includes the heavily forested Appalachian Mountains, but there is a lot of Atlantic Ocean coast as well. Sandy soil and marshes are found along these coastal areas. Weather is affected by the mountain ranges, lakes, and Atlantic Ocean, which bring bitter cold winters and lots of storms. Summers are warm and humid. Most of the region is forest, with a small percentage used for crops and pastures. The Northeast has 72 national wildlife refuges that are designed to protect 92 different endangered species of animals living in the region. The southeastern U.S. is quite different, with small islands, estuaries where streams and rivers meet the ocean, coastal areas which make good ports for shipping, and excellent places to catch fish for fun and for business. You will find densely packed forests and wilderness, as well as beaches and swamps. Along with these, the Southeast is also known for cotton, tobacco, and peanut crops. Because of the Atlantic Ocean on the east and the Gulf of Mexico on the south, the Southeast is known for its wild and often dangerous weather. Tropical storms have caused a lot of damage to this region many times. As you travel north, you come to the Midwest. Here, most of the land is low and flat with some rolling or small hills. The Great Plains and the prairie are found here. In the winter, the weather can be very, very cold, while the summers are severely hot. Water is a big part of the Midwest. To the north are the Great Lakes, and flowing through this region you find the Ohio, Mississippi, and Missouri rivers. Most of the Midwest is farmland for corn, wheat, and oats. Some of the best soil in the world for farming is found in the Midwest. You won't find many corn or wheat crops in the southwestern region, but you will find sagebrush and cactus. You will see some grasslands, but also deserts, mesas, and plateaus, which are flat-topped hills and land masses, and some mountains. Buttes, which are narrower than mesas, are found here too. Most of the climate in this region is dry and hot, but in the mountain areas you will find lots of snow. Our last region is the West. This region takes up more than half of the land area of the continental United States, and when it comes to climate and geography, it has the most variety. Mountain ranges like the Sierra Nevada, Rocky, and Cascade Mountains run through it, but you will also find the Mojave, Sonoran, Great Basin, and Chihuahua deserts. To add to the variety, the coastline of the Pacific Ocean runs the length of the West. Some of the mountains in the west are volcanic, and areas of this region are known for being lush farmland. The Grand Canyon is here, and the Colorado River, which formed it. Most of the West has a semi-arid climate, meaning overall it's not too hot and not too cold, but depending on your tastes, you can also find hot and dry or cold and rainy. It's just too hard to put the West into one category. So there you have the regions of the United States. As you can see, no matter what you like, whether it be dry, wet, hot, cold, mountains, grasslands, swamps, or beaches, you can find it in the United States.
All right, so that was just a little bit of an introduction on the United States. Now we're breaking it down to the Northeast region. And I did the first example here. You're not going to do all of this now. You're going to go back after this presentation and do this on your own because it's in your drive, your own copy. So here we have number 1. I look here and I'm like, do I know that state? I did know that state. I knew that it was Maine. I don't know the capital of Maine. I think I know, but sometimes I get a little confused. So I better go look it up on the internet to make sure that I get it right. So I'm going to go look it up on the internet and I'm going to write that down. I'm going to finish this, like I said, after the presentation. Then this is what you're going to do with me right now. We're going to learn in this presentation a little bit about the Northeast region. And actually today we're going to only do land and water and read a little bit about that and then answer some questions. We're not going to get to climate yet, and that's okay. We're just going to do the Northeast region, land and water. So here's a question that I have for you. The Rocky Mountains are part of the Northeast region. If you think that's true, put a T. If you think it's false, put an F. The Appalachian Trail goes over 2,000 miles from Maine to Georgia. If you think that's true, put a T. If you think it's false, put an F. We'll go through the results after. Mount Lincoln is one of the windiest places on the earth. True or false? Write the correct answer. The coast of the Northeast region is very rocky. True or false? All right, let's learn a little bit about the Northeast region. The Northeast region has broad valleys, rolling hills, and low mountains. The Appalachian Mountains stretch from Maine in the Northeast region down to Alabama in the Southeast region. Several different mountain ranges make up the Appalachian Mountains, including the Allegheny Mountains, the Pocono Mountains, the Adirondack Mountains, and the Catskills. The longest hiking trail in the world is the Appalachian Trail. It goes from Maine to Georgia along the spine of the mountain range through more than 2,000 miles of valleys, hills, and rivers. Ooh, I think that was in our true and false question. The Appalachian Trail is a very popular place to hike. Many people have hiked the entire trail. Oh my goodness, dude, that's just a lot. The Appalachian Mountains are one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. Although they used to be very tall, they are much smaller now. Over time, water, wind, and ice have caused the rocks of the mountains to slowly break down. Now the peaks of the Appalachian Mountains are smooth and rounded. Have any of you been there? Thumbs up. Give me an emoji if you've been there. Mount Washington in New Hampshire is part of the Appalachian Mountain Range. At 6,288 feet tall, Mount Washington is the highest peak in the Northeast. The peak of Mount Washington is one of the windiest places on the earth. The highest wind speed ever recorded there was 231 miles per hour. Winds exceeded hurricane force, 75 miles over 100 days a year. That's crazy. The land in the lower part of the Northeast is good for farming, but the upper part is not. The soil in the upper part is very rocky. Long ago, mile-thick sheets of ice called glaciers covered much of the land. As the glaciers moved across the land, they wore down mountains, carved deep grooves into the coastline, and carried away most of the fertile soil. The melting glaciers form many lakes, rocks, and sand. left behind by glaciers formed islands and capes. So you can see all the different places. The most important waterway in the region is the Erie Canal, which connects the Great Lakes to the Atlantic Ocean. A canal is a ditch dug across the land to connect one waterway with another. The Erie Canal is 363 miles long. Before the Erie Canal was dug, there were no waterways that crossed the Appalachian Mountains. Moving goods by boat is faster and cheaper than traveling across land, so it was very difficult and expensive to move goods from the Northeast to other parts of the country without the Erie Canal. Thank goodness they got that canal. Saved a lot of money. Lake Ontario and Lake Erie form part of the border of the Northeast region. Lake Ontario and Lake Erie are two of the 5 Great Lakes, which we have one right by us, don't we, boys and girls? Do you know what that one is? You can put it in the chat box. The Great Lakes are a group of 5 freshwater lakes located in the eastern North America on the border between Canada and the United States. The Great Lakes are so large they can be seen from the moon. The Great Lakes hold 1/5 of all the fresh water in the world. So now what I did was I was able to answer all of these questions ahead of time. And what you're going to do is copy these. So, why are the Appalachian Mountains smooth and rounded? Well, I went back and I looked and found the evidence. It said the mountains are smooth and rounded because the tops of the mountains have been worn down by wind, water, and ice. Number 2, how do glaciers change the land of the Northeast region? Well, glaciers change land by wearing down mountains, carving deep ground into the coastline, and carrying away most of the soil. So I spelled that wrong. I'm going to make a little correction. Carving. Number 3, why is the Erie Canal important to the Northeast region? Oh, do you remember that? The Erie Canal connects the Great Lakes to the Atlantic Ocean, which makes it easier and cheaper to move goods from the Northeast region to other parts of the country. Miss Dixon, C's an error here. Erie is a proper noun, so I'm going to capitalize it. We're going to stop there, boys and girls. And what we're going to do is we're going back to the Northeast region. Let's see if your answers were correct. So, are the Rocky Mountain, are they part of the Northeast region? Now, if you got this wrong, it's okay. But now we have the evidence from the text that we read. So, false. They are not part of the Northeast region. False. The next one is the Appalachian Trail goes over 2,000 miles from Maine to Georgia. Yes, you are correct. That is true. So you can fill in the blank there. The next one is Mount Lincoln is one of the windiest places on the earth. False. It is not. And for some reason, mine has disappeared, but this is false. The next one, the coast of the Northeast region is very rocky. And that last one is true. Okay, boys and girls. So we've been learning about the Northeast region. You've been able to make your copy, have it in your drive. You are going to finish this right after the presentation, all the states and all the capitals. You did a little pre-test and post-test. We did reading about land and water. And then next week, we'll start on climate. We'll read about climate. Then we'll find out about the products and natural resources, answer those questions, and landmarks. Ooh, so many cool landmarks. So I think you're going to have fun enjoying the Northeast region. Get busy and find those states and capitals.